Salam. Assalamu alaikum, Sat Sri Akal, and praise the Lord. So today I would like to reveal to all of you, my dear friends, about this over-the-counter, because these over-the-counters, all of these drugs, these all drugs, common OTC acid blockers may worsen cognitive impairment in all the elderly and even non-elderly, not only the elderly. So, in this case, adverse drug reactions are linked as the fifth leading problem to deaths everywhere around. Stupid things troubling me from that time. So these problems are not even being seen only in the USA. There are more than 1 lakh people who are dying only in USA. But what about these countries, India, Africa, and all other countries? What do we even see about this? We are not seeing anything about this. So, my dear friends, and all the elderly and even the non-elderly, none of you take drugs, because my grandmother and she was taking drugs, and now she has a disease called glaucoma, which is a disease which is not letting people see at all. So, like this, drugs may create many problems, and for going to hospitals and places like that to cure your drug problems, for small problems we go everywhere. We go to search for a hospital instead of even seeing in your own yard or seeing in your own kitchen, where we have so many things to cure ourselves, but not the junk food and the 5 evils, which are salt, sugar, milk, and all of these jaggeries and all of those 5 evils. So we should not use all of these things, and surely, my dear friends, you'll be cured of this disease. And like this, for all small problems, if we keep going to the doctor first, we take a drug for a small problem which has happened, okay? And then after that, we get another. We think that problem is going, and for some time it goes. Then after that, again it comes. Then we go to the doctor again and get like this. We are going through a cycle which is troubling us a lot. Instead of going to these doctors, we can cure ourselves with all of these kapha items. As the pitta increases, like acid happens, these acid blockers, first they give acid blockers which stop the acid from going to the thyroid. So like this, they stop it, and then they first don't even go to the main problem. They just go to a small problem which is there. They don't go to the main problem which can remove all the things. So Ayurveda doesn't do that. And nowadays we find some people saying, Ayurveda, nice Ayurveda. They all cheat, all of these people. They just cheat, saying it's Ayurveda, but it's not at all curing us. So like this, we all get fooled and keep going to all of these hospitals, this and that places. As all the elderly people, they get older, their height reduces because they have less water, they have less body weight, and they are not able to sustain the poison of these drugs which they take for a small disease. And you saw the example of my grandmother, who is suffering from glaucoma because of these drugs. All of these drugs can give you different types of diseases, but all of these herbs which can cure diseases, you don't even see them. Just pluck it out and throw it. That's all. And then go to the hospital. You think the hospital is curing you, really, but only for few minutes or few hours. They can just make you fine, that's all. After that, you may get even more worse problems. So, these all drugs and all of these are having chemicals in them. Why should we even use them? We think they are very good for ourselves, but you don't know that first you take little drugs, then you go to the 2 times, then 3 times, and then 4 times, up to 500 times. It's just a joke. But this is really horrible. what we feel sad for so many, about 1 lakh people dying. It may be even countless people dying in the full world if it's like this. That's why all these hospitals, all these drugs should be banned. This is not fair. And also, adverse drug reactions are caused in the elderly because of all of these drug problems. These serious problems are caused because of the chemicals which are there in the drugs. All OTC H2 acid blockers may even worsen cognitive impairment in all the elderly. So what happens in our body if we eat that, all of that? The best thing to cure yourself from these drugs and to kickstart a sluggish thyroid is to eat ghee, kapha items. For acid increasing in our body, they put H2 acid blockers, and then they don't go to the main root and the main problem. If you need to cut a plant, isn't it that we should we cut the top part of the plant, or should we remove the root? No, we should remove the root if we have to cut the plant. So, like this, think the disease is the plant, and you have to remove the disease. So you should go to the root problem, which is coming, isn't it? You should not go to the top problem. So like this, you should never ever drink all of these drugs. So my dear friends, I am revealing the truth to you about all of these drugs, and all of these doctors. They just give all of these drugs to us. So the best things to eat is organic butter, not these Jersey cow butter. Even though you have a cow in your house, it should be the naughty one which has a hump and a flap. It should not be a Jersey one which has black and white patches in its body, and she should not have very short horns. They should have a long horn, and like this, you should have the correct butter made out of by yourself. So you should not go to the shops and buy, because again they may add chemicals in it and then give you. So it is very good to also use coconut oil in your food, as all the kapha items like banana, all of these things can even cure for all of your problems of drug and acid problems here. So it's very good to have all of these nutrients instead of having different stupid drugs like this, which can even worsen your things. There are many studies which can show that 47% of salt manufacturers in the University Texas, they have found out that 47% of salt manufacturers have added iodine, that bad iodine, but not the good iodine. If you add the good iodine, it is very, very good. You should buy the iron vessels and cook food in it. Immediately your iodine problem will go. But what these people do is they have added artificial iodine, and they have met this USA Food Administration. So like this is very, very horrible. And there are many studies and many other things like this. All of these doctors just keep studying about drugs and this and that, but we don't know that we should study about herbs for doctors. But they keep giving drugs and this and that to the elderly. Not only the elderly, even the non-elderly, but elderly compared to the non-elderly cannot remove the poison or the via of their drugs. So please, all of you people, do not use these acid blockers or H2 acid blockers to remove your drug problem and remove your acid problem. So all of you indeed use good things for your kitchen, and take good salt, good jaggery, good milk, and all of these things should be good, turned to good, and you should not eat junk food. then only your problems will go. We think that it is very difficult to maintain all of these things every time, going to the corner shop and then taking everything and then coming back to your home. That's not difficult. It is difficult, but is it difficult to have problems? So all of you people do not use all of these drugs and all of them, because these OTC H2 acid blockers can also exacerbate the mental confusion in all of them. So thank you. Jai Shri Krishna. Assalamu alaikum. Sat Sri Akal and praise the Lord. Thank you.